For the last 27 years, our celebrity gardener Ross McKinnon has been curator of the Brisbane Botanic Gardens here at Mount Cootha, and he's guided southeast Queenslanders on local gardening topics and techniques through his regular spots on radio, TV and a weekly column in the Gold Coast Bulletin. So Ross, what was the garden like 37 years ago when you came here from South Australia?
This site was just a cleared paddock. It was the end of a national park, and we requisitioned about 53 hectares, and it's been a bit like a jigsaw puzzle. We've been filling in all the pieces ever since.
What was your vision for the gardens when you took on the curator's role?
Well, the vision was to create an educational establishment, and we have about 14,000 students a year now go through our lessons in the gardens programs. Very, very popular. But as well as that, we wanted to establish plant communities. So all the succulents of southern Africa are all on a mound together. Similarly with Australian native plants, virtually none of them in here. We've now got a 25-hectare Australian native plant section in our gardens, the largest collection of Australian native rainforest trees anywhere in the world. We're very proud of that.
We've just come through one of the worst droughts in Brisbane's history. How did the gardens cope?
Well, the gardens didn't cope too well in the drought, I must say. We have now been off mains water since October 2005. I mean, it may not look like it because we've had a good wet year this year, but we're now into water harvesting the entire 53-hectare site. All goes into our lakes, pumped out of our lakes onto the gardens. So we have learnt to conserve and save a huge amount of water. In fact, our water bill was about $700,000 a year. We don't have that water bill anymore. So it's taught us a lot of lessons, and we think we've got to garden sustainably, because if we can garden sustainably, then everybody else in Brisbane can as well.
So Ross, do you see this education about sustainability as the new role for the Botanic Gardens?
Most definitely. We work to an international agenda for the establishment and maintenance of Botanic Gardens, and we're just part of a worldwide movement. So yes, all Botanic Gardens all around the world are really focusing on education, the outdoor learning environment, and also sustainability. So we have all sorts of sustainable gardening measures in place, and a lot more to come too in the next couple of years.
Ross, what are some of your favourite places within the gardens and why?
Nev, my favourite place I think would have to be the Japanese garden where we're standing right at the moment. It's just a delightful area, and it's the scene for all sorts of celebrations. It's a great cross-cultural garden as well, so we have all sorts of events in here. But I think perhaps even pipping that would be the Australian native rainforest garden, the Palm Gully. The water tinkling through the middle of the palms, it is just magic. And who would think these palms have only been planted 20 years?
Well, for my money, this is a must come and have a look at sort of a place. Not only is it a feast for the eyes with all this beauty from one side to the other, but also there's a lot you can learn as well. And it's a mere 8 kilometres from the centre of Brisbane.